MotoGP race press conference here at the Monster Energy British Grand Prix. We have winner once again, Pecco Bagnaia with Ducati Lenovo team, but it was pretty close with Maverick Vinales from Aprilia Racing back on the podium consecutively again as well, and completing the rostrum for two Ducati Lenovo team machines on the podium was Jack Miller in third. Congrats, guys. That was a great race. Pecco, more so for you than anyone. Talk us through it. Congratulations on another win. How was it out there? What was the secret to success today?
I'm very happy about this race. I would like to put it in one of my best one, because I was struggling on the weekend. I was not competitive like I was expecting. And yesterday I was already accepting a top 5 finish. I was already knowing that it was very difficult to win today. But then this morning we found something better with the rear tire, the R1, and also using the medium front for the race, because in the last part of the race I was completely without the rear grip, so I started to brake in very hard, and it was the only thing possible to do, so to protect me, and I'm very happy. Compare Assen, that I was controlling the gap today and just given my best on the lap time, because I was sure that it was difficult in the last part of the race, but then everything comes to a good end, and I'm very happy about this win.
It did. You're the 8th different winner in 8 years, just by 4.26, I think was the gap where you just missed out, doubling up here, Maverick. But you said on the broadcaster set you didn't want to talk about the championship too much, you're not thinking about it. We have to ask you about it, of course. You're now the top Ducati again in the standings. 25 points on a day where Fabio looked like he would be very quick despite that long lap and only came 8th. And next up, of course, with this different calendar this year, Austria next, Ducati Turf most usually. How are you feeling now? It's a very different situation to just after the race in Germany, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I recovered a lot of points in the last 2 races, but still I don't want to think about the championship, because we have time to think about. Next one is Austria. I will try to be competitive. I will try to think just on Austria. And today was very important to take an advantage for the long lap penalty of Fabio. And that was the key. Fabio, with this long lap, I've lost time, because he started with the medium rear tire, and if he was in the front, I think in the first position, I think he was opening a gap, because today was very competitive. But Zarco was closing him a lot the lines, and he have lost a lot of positions. So then, for sure, with the medium tire wasn't the best situation for him. But then also Leish yesterday had a big crash, because if not, today was competitive like Maverick was, and so today I had a great help from them in terms of championship, but winning today was the most important thing, because I was struggling, and it's the first time in this year that in a difficult situation I win. So I'm very happy about it.
Well, congratulations, it was a great race. And Maverick, Aprilia were very, very fast here at Silverstone. Obviously, you got your first podium with the factory last time out at Assen. Then you've had to be very patient. I'm sure it's felt very long, summer break. But we're back here at a venue where you had won before, and you were so, so close, just less than half a second. Talk us through that. You looked like, well, you made one move, but then just couldn't quite on that final lap.
Well, I tried in 2 laps to go. I tried because, you know, I felt very strong in the last part of the race. And somehow Pecco made himself to put the bike in front of me and close the door. And then I had no chance. I got wide in the turn 1 because I lost the rear. And then I was looking back, you know, I was looking that Jack don't overtake me, because he's a good braker. So today, you know, we must be happy, because at the end we show a good potential. Every time I'm feeling better on the bike, and I just feel, you know, we are going up. And that's the way. With Aprilia we are working on a fantastic way. There is 3 races in a row where we are able to be on the podium, and that's the point. We need to fight for the races, and today we did it.
You certainly did, and it was here last year where Aleix took that first podium in the MotoGP era. Like you said, it's just improving. I think you're leading the team's championship. You're close in constructors as well. It's incredible. What is there still that you need to improve, and did you learn different things at Silverstone compared to Assen?
Well, for me, it's a matter of time. You know, I need to adapt to the bike. Still, I'm not at the maximum, and step by step, I'm getting closer to my best. So we just need to run more. You know, now I can wait to be back in Austria because I know it's a good track and we will be fast. And we keep going. We keep going. We work pretty strong. Now we have 1 week to refresh and to come back stronger.
You can tell a rider is happy when you're smiling as you're talking. So we very much look forward to Austria and seeing what you guys can do there as well. And Jack, you were right in the mix at the front. I think it's the second closest top 10 in MotoGP history. You put in some good legwork up there with dueling with Alex and then a few more guys. Talk us through your way to the podium today.
Yeah, I battled with them all. Everybody seemed to come up there. At the beginning it was Joa and Fabio and myself. Fabio bailed off for his long lap, and not too long later Joan threw it at the wall, so I was left out the front there by myself. Alex decided he wanted to go, so I was sort of just putting the hammer down trying to chase him. You know, it was not one thing, it was another thing, so I was just constantly just trying to keep up with the boys at the front. I saw when Alex was going, he was pushing pretty hard, so I thought, okay, I just need to keep a bit of margin here, let's say. Try not to get too carried away trying to chase him down or run his pace, just let the race play out and see what happens. Pecco came through, all right, I was able to ride in my own way, and we started coming back towards Alex. I got to a point when I was pretty close to passing him, but then, yeah, probably about 6 laps till the end, that P front started sort of going on me towards on the right-hand side of the tyre. I was having a few moments, and especially in the fast-flowing corners, I was just sort of having to rely more on the rear to get the bike to turn rather than letting it coast off the front. Left-hand side was sweet, but yeah, nonetheless, very happy to be back here on the podium. It's a fantastic way to start the second half of the season.
It is, and with both you guys on the podium, you extend Ducati's longest ever podium streak, which you've both played a massive part in. It's now 18 races in a row. That must be super news for you guys as well, being on the bike, looking at the rest of the season. Got some good venues coming up where you've both had some speed and the bike has as well. Do you think you can maybe extend it, how many more, till the end of the year?
Definitely. I mean, Austria, I didn't have the greatest of luck there last year, but in the previous years, we've had some really good results there. Of course, the battle with Pol and Miguel.
I was going to say that time when you ruined Pol's day.
Nearly won it, but no, I mean, I'm looking forward to a lot of the tracks that are coming up in the second half of the season. You know, I generally go better in the second half of the year. Normally this is sort of my struggle point. So if we're here on the podium and been on the podium in Sachsenring and fought for the podium in Assen, you know, ever since we made that adjustment at the test in Barcelona, things have been really, really positive for us, and we've been really strong. So if we can keep this momentum rolling through till the end of the season, I'm really excited for, of course, you know, Phillip Island, Thailand, places like that we haven't been in a couple of years.
Yeah, it will certainly be exciting to see what you guys can do there. Congratulations on being back on the podium. Always a great battle with Unit at the front with the elbows out. I think that's everything from me. Have we got any questions from the floor?
Matteo Aglio from La Stampa in GP1. I have a question for Maverick. This is your second podium in a row, but in the past, was there a moment in which you thought that maybe Aprilia wasn't the bike for you?
Never. I believe a lot in this project. I believe a lot, and I believe a lot in myself. So I always think it's a matter of time, a matter of work, you know. We know we have the potential to be in the front fighting for the races, as we've shown in the previous events. And our focus is in ourselves, you know. Still, I'm not at the maximum with the bike, on the track, so I just keep riding, keep believing, and trying to be focused on the correct things.
Paolo Guinieri, Gazzetta dello Sport. A question for Pecco and one for Maverick. Pecco, if they told you two races ago you were minus 91, now you are minus 49, would you have believed that? And you, Maverick, you think that the start when you were closed the door by Fabio, did it cost you the race?
My objective is always to be objective is always to be competitive and to win races. We had to say that I had the luck that in Assen, Fabio did a mistake, and in this track he had to do the long lap penalty. So in a normal circumstances, I think that Fabio was always in front like me to fight with me. I think that this one he was more competitive. So we had the luck that he had the long lap penalty too, and we have done a good job because we have taken advantage about this situation. And I'm always thinking to gaining points, but I would like to think race by race that is better.
Absolutely not. I mean, we didn't use the rear start device on the start. That's why I get a normal start, you know. And of course, then when Fabio across my line, I needed to close the gas. But this is a normal part of the race. If I should start better, I was better. But however, you know, it didn't make my race different. I was keeping the pace. I was waiting until 10 laps to go to push, and it pays off. So I just needed one more lap, I think. But I tried. 2 laps to go, I tried very hard, and Pecco was very smart. And today we are second, but we must be happy. A few races ago, we were 10 or 12. So we just keep riding like this, believing, and with the confidence we have right now on our mind.
Wait. Can you hear me? Oh yeah, you can hear me.
Oh, yes.
Matt Oxley, Motorsport Magazine. Question for Maverick. You said you lost the rear at turn 1 at the start of it. You also went wide at turn 7 and then again at turn 8. Was that just you in a hurry, or were you running out of front tyre? And secondly, I kind of wonder whether the atmosphere in Aprilia is really helping you get the best out of yourself compared to where you were before.
I start 4 laps to go to lose the rear because I push. I mean, 10 laps to the end of the race, I start to make 59 and I push a lot the tires, you know, I push maybe too much. But that was the way. It nearly works, so we need to keep trying. And at the end, the atmosphere is very important. We are focused on the correct points on the track and on the weekend. And you know, we are getting used to it. It is not easy. It's a completely new bike, completely new team for me, and it needs time. But we make a good base in the first part of the season, and now it's time for the next step. Here, we build a little bit more, and we will be building until we are, you know, based on the first places.
Question for Maverick, Dimitris Diatsidis from Greek TV. Maverick, before some races, when Aleix made the mistake in Catalonia, in the last lap, Luca Marini said that he saw that the Aprilia is having much more better rear tire than the Ducati. It was also the case for you today, and you noticed that this is the way that you are riding and developing Aprilia compared to Ducati?
Well, you can see today the winner is a Ducati, so today he was stronger, and I try very hard. There is a few things to improve for sure, and also I can improve on my way of riding the bike. So for us, we know our limit is not here. We need to keep working, and as we mentioned many times, you know, this is a process, and we are getting the process on a correct way. We are racing well, but I want to make the next step, and to make the next step, you have to do second, you have to do third, and you have to get that consistency that brings you to the next point. I had good traction, honestly, I have good traction, more at the end of the race than on the beginning, so it means that we keep the tire for a longer. We need to understand, it's a good race to learn, to get data, because all the weekend we were between the first 3. And it is important, you know, to understand well what we did this weekend to bring to the another one. I mean, you know, somehow I feel very strong. I feel we are able to do it, and we will keep working very hard.
Hi guys, Lewis Duncan from Autosport. I have a question for Maverick as well. You're happy now with a result like this, and you're coming very close to a victory. How long before a result like this becomes disappointing for you?
Well, you know, I'm happy, but I have the eye on the prize, you know. I have the eye on the victory because we believe a lot on that. but feet on the ground. Second is a fantastic result for us. You know, we came a long way. I started the season without the result we expect, and step by step we are building up the good mood, the good confidence, and this is what we are looking for. With Aprilia we are working on a good way, and our mentality is to build up a strong team and a strong bike to fight every race, in every track, not just kind of a track, you know, for every track. And it seems like that, you know, since after the Montmello test, where I found a little bit better feeling with the bike, I'm able to be in the podium. So very happy and really pleased about the job we are doing.
Ben Hunt from The Sun. Question to Pecco. Dare I ask if you're out to celebrate tonight, or are you just going to be staying in on the soft drinks? But could I also ask seriously, what sort of message does this send to your critics who have been sort of jumping on you over the last couple of weeks? Is it a perfect response?
I didn't understand the last part. The second question.
The second question is the response to your critics. Is this the perfect answer to your critics who have been critical of you?
On the second part of the season.
No, because of the critics.
About what happened in the summer break.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We are young, man. We are young. Young and wild.
For sure, this night I will take a taxi.
Very wise.
But I think everyone can make a mistake, and I did a mistake. I said that I did a mistake, and nothing. Everyone can make mistakes, so I'm sorry about that.
And the result as a response to the critics, how important was that today?
Matt, I think that this win doesn't change what happened in the summer break, but changed more for me, for my situation, because this year every time I won, I crashed the race after, so I won twice, two in a row. So this helping me to be more relaxed in this case, but more because in a difficult weekend like this, that I was very struggling a lot from the start of the season, from the start of the weekend, I won. So we were able to do a great comeback in terms of speed and constancy, and so I'm happy about that.
Question, David Emmett from On Track Off Road. Question for Maverick and a question for Pecco. Maverick first. It looked like the last lap you didn't have much tyre left, or were you just pushing so hard?
I didn't have much tyre left, honestly. I was pushing, but we can improve. We can improve, especially in the last laps. Even if I was quite strong, I did a good lap times, but still there is room to improve. So I'm quite happy that we were close to the victory with room to improve. So very happy about, you know, the result. The tires were working on a fantastic way. Just I needed to push more, and I think I could not save the tires until the end.
Okay, thank you. And for you, Pecco, I'm sorry I missed the start, so I'm not sure whether you mentioned this already. You mentioned, I think, in Parc Fermé about talking to Casey Stoner and how he'd helped you. Can you explain more about exactly the advice he was giving you, how he was helping, what he was talking about?
This weekend I speak a lot with Valentino more, and he helped me a lot to be to understand better the situation, because I was a bit in trouble all the weekend. And it's not easy from his point of view, because he's at home and just looking to the screen, to the TV. But he helped me to understand the tires, to understand the temperature with the tires, so he helped me a lot. And to Casey, I just asked him if in the past have done something different in this track that helped it to be more competitive. And this morning he sent to me a message. And I just tried to do something in the way of he had done in the past, and was good, but maybe not for the tire we have now. But in any case, I have a great luck to have this kind of people around me, and at my dispositions. I don't know. So I'm very happy to have this kind of luck. Thanks also to Gabarrini, that is very friend of Casey. So I have a great luck.
Yeah, Adam Wheeler for The Telegraph. A question for Pecco and for Jack. Pecco, are you riding better than ever right now? Even better than the end of last season? And then Jack, how do you rate this racetrack? You know, is it one of the best in the world? I mean, we've seen a very close action, some good stuff. Is it one of the better circuits, both for you and for spectators?
For me, in this moment, I improved a bit myself, because last part of last year I was riding well. I was very competitive, but the championship was already over. So this time now is a different situation, and I'm just trying to improve myself, because I crashed a lot of time this year because I was maybe not so on a good mindset. So I tried to improve myself during the summer break, to try to understand my mistakes with my trainer at home, and I don't want to say that I'm completely okay. I improve myself on that area, but I think I'm trying to do a step in this situation, for that situation.
Yeah, the tracks, for sure. I can't speak highly enough about it. It's one of the best in the world, proper old school Grand Prix track, long lap, a lot of different elements, and that's why you see the top 10 so close together. I think it shows the depth of the field at the moment, but it also shows the racetrack, you know, because even riding with some of the Suzukis throughout the race, or even the Aprilia towards the back end of the race, and seeing the different lines that sort of gel together in this track and can make for such great racing. So for sure, it's an amazing circuit. For the spectators, I can't really say much. It's a big track, so it's very spread out. But no, fantastic. It's been an awesome weekend.
Pecco, you just said you tried to do something that Casey did. I may have missed if you already explained that. So what do you mean you try? When he suggested you do something, you said you did something like he used to do. What was that?
He was great to find traction. He was great on finding traction in the exit of the corner. And this was his suggestion for today. And I tried to wait more, on opening gas, and was a bit better. The problem was that I did maybe from the when started remaining 5-6 laps, I was without real grip. So in this last part of the race, I was just doing my riding style, because I wasn't able to use the rear tire. So I just tried to push a lot in the braking to stop the bike before with using just the front tire, because the rear was sliding a lot.
Yes, Manuel Pesino, Riding Sport Japan. A question for Maverick. You said that you didn't use the start device. Was it because you forgot? Because it was broken? Which was the reason?
Well, we decided with the team to only engage the front. And at the end, everyone was using it, so they just blasted me on the start. But I think the start was a consequence of Fabio crossing my line on the start than anything else. And then, you know, I think I battled a lot through all the race. I battled with Rins a lot, with Martin a lot. And I wasn't able, every time I wanted to go to the front, someone overtook me, and I could not be fast to the top. And I just arrived too late. But, you know, it's fine for us. It's fine. You know, it's fine. Good thing is that I'm able to overtake on the race, and then I enjoy a lot. I get a lot of fun on the race, a lot. When I was behind Jack, I start laughing, you know. of all these things of Pokemon, I was just laughing, right? It was fun. It was fun race, and I enjoy so much. And you know, it's nice when you can enjoy when you race, when you ride on the track. It means that you are giving an extra, and it was fantastic. I can't stop laughing, mate.
Hi guys, Frank Weying from Ziggo Sports in the Netherlands. I have 3 questions actually, one for Pecco, one for Maverick and one for Jack. First of all, Pecco, you fought with a lot of guys this year, but this was actually the first time that you fought with Maverick, and I'm sure obviously you know him from the past, but on a different bike. Did it feel any different? Did you sort of have to find out a tactic to beat him. And Maverick, yesterday, I think you said in MotoGP, the first 10 laps are the most important, if I'm correct. I think the last 10 laps were more important. Could you say something about that? And Jack, we talked a lot about front tires this season, front tires overheating. And I think from these three guys, maybe you were the guy who was behind most of the time. Did you feel any difference in the behavior of the front tire?
I think it was the first time we had a type of fight like this, because the only one time we had a kind of race together was in Misano 2020, and I crashed. And in Italy we say he was a mastino because he was pushing a lot from behind. But this time was different because it was in the last part of the race. I think if we were fighting at the start of the race, he was more competitive. He was opening a gap because he was more competitive than me. But maybe he had a bad start, so he lost time. In the last part of the race, what I had was a real great feeling with the front tire. And I think to recover all the gap, he was pushing a lot. And when he arrived to me, he finished completely the rear tire. So I just tried to overtook him because he was a bit wide, and I closed as soon the corner after. And was the key to win today, because I just tried to be more constant possible with the tire, pushing a lot, and finally in the last part of the race I had an advantage with the front tire.
It is important, it is very important, you know. I think if I was first, second in the first laps, the race was very different because I could put the rhythm I wanted to put from the beginning, and I could ride faster. But however, as Pecco mentioned, in the last laps I was attacking. This is very nice, you know. It comes back sometimes where I feel very strong. And yeah, it is important. It is important to feel strong at the end of the race because it is encouraging you, you know, to make better the first laps. But at the end, you know, here is difficult. I had a lot of traffic. It is not because the bad start. It is because I fight a lot. You know, I fight. They pass me back, and all the time, you know, on 14, then we block. And Pecco and Jack just open a big gap on the last laps. I tried, you know, I tried very hard. So there is nothing to regret. We are more than happy to be second, and next time we want to try it harder.
Yeah, I mean, I was third or like you say, behind bikes most of the race. I had the softest front tire of these guys, so for sure it's not the ideal conditions, let's say. But I was doing what I could to manage it down the back straight, trying not to sit so much in the slipstream and stuff like that. And to be honest, overheating in the last couple of Grand Prix, especially for me, because with the long lap in both Assen and in Sachsenring, I was having to follow quite a lot. And hasn't been an issue recently, so no, I can't complain so much.
Okay, I think that's all the questions. Congratulations, enjoy the Prosecco, see you in Austria.